Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I heard my colleague on the Republican side talk about the reduction in the number of pages in the bill. But what I want to point out is by reducing the number of pages, that's not the issue. They've reduced the help for the American people that's in this bill. That's what the Republicans have done. The beginning of the week, we had a bipartisan bill that provided critical relief for the American people. And from my perspective on the Energy and Commerce Committee, what we had done over the last year was hear from our constituents, had hearings, to hear about what was necessary to lower costs, to provide relief for people that, as you know, feel very strongly that prices are too high, that there's all kinds of problems with corporate interests and websites that are not protecting their interests, not protecting their privacy, soliciting all kinds of things with misinformation, because we're the committee that deals primarily with health care, with consumer protection, with environmental concerns. And so what we did is we worked on a bipartisan basis to put together in this legislation proposals that would really make a difference from what we heard from our constituents around the country. Now, that's what's been taken out of this bill. And it's been taken out because one man, a billionaire, decided to tell my Republican colleagues that he did not want this bill. I'm not going to figure out why he doesn't want it, but obviously, you know, the types of things that I'm talking about are not the things that he would want in the bill. So what are we talking about here? What was taken out of this bill? Well, first, my colleague, the ranking member appropriations, mentioned pediatric cancer and rare disease therapies, research for cancer, for kids that are facing cancer problems, community health centers, teaching health centers to provide more primary care doctors. Those were extended for 2 years and then for 5 years with more funding for that purpose. Prescription drug reforms. One of the biggest problems that we face right now is so-called PBMs, pharmaceutical benefit manufacturers. What they do, managers, what they do is, theoretically, they're supposed to work between, like, the insurer or the individual and the drug companies to reduce prices. But what they do instead is, because there's no transparency, what they actually do is pocket the money that they've negotiated, the savings that they've negotiated for themselves, rather than give it back to the consumer. And so what we did on the Energy and Commerce Committee, we said, no, we want reform of PBMs that basically is sort of a way of saying that they cannot, if they negotiate savings, that has to go back to the consumer to lower costs for prescription drugs, which is one of the biggest things that people are concerned now. Their health care, one of the biggest costs that they have in health care. So these are the types of things that have been taken out of this bill.
The gentleman's time has expired.
I would be happy to give the gentleman another 30 seconds, another minute if he needs it. Okay.
These are the types of things that have been taken out of this bill. Health care protections, consumer protections, environmental protections, safety protections. These are the types of things that have been taken out of this bill because some billionaire, richest man on earth, decided that he didn't want those things. This has now become a bill that has taken out anything that is important, essentially, for consumer or health protection or for relief to lower costs for the American people. And thank you. I yield back.